Hello, I'm going to take you through a guide basically on how to do projector headlights for the Volkswagen Scirocco. You can basically do it on any car, but what I'm going to take you through is how to do the projector housing and the angel eyes. Sorry, I'm not very good on videos, but yeah, only one way to do it, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll take you through on how to split them, how to do the electrics, how to install the angel eyes, how to do the projectors. I did technically use an MOT station for mine to do the alignment. I suppose you can do it where you put the projector in loosely. I'll cover that later, but you would have to tighten it before sealing your headlight. Most MOT stations will let you use the light array. You would have to take your car in with no headlight. It is a pain in the backside. That's why I advise people not to do it, because it's a pain. But I have that many people asking and are willing to have a go. Why not? I had a go at it. I managed to do it. It did take us a long time. I did make a bit of a mess, which you'll see, because this is it was my first try. I'm busy doing some bi-xenons at the minute, and compared the comparison between the two, the first set were totally butchered. Second set look amazing compared to these. But I'll take you through it. Right, so this is basically what I've had for the past 3 years. That's the sealed unit still. I haven't started splitting that tonight. I haven't got time, so I'm going out. Not that you need to know that. The left one is a split unit, and as you can see, it's got quite a bit of misshapen plastic, because I basically had to go with a heat gun and a flathead screwdriver, which is never going to end great, really. What I should have been using was this bad lad, which is a seal splitter. Great for doing retrofitting. Basically how that works is you would still use a flathead. You would lift this top layer, peel it back a little bit, obviously not too much, because if you start doing that you'll misshape them. On my bi-xenons that is totally different. It looks clean compared to this. You also end up warping the plastic if you keep gouging away and do too much, which is what I did with the screwdriver. But what you should be doing is peeling back the top section so it exposes the lens all the way around up to roughly about here and down here. That part I just heated up, separated it, heated all the way around here, separated with a splay, pushing it out over, and it pulled the seal away. Did it all the way around this side, and then peeled away from this section towards the bottom, obviously keeping it warm. Don't overheat it or the plastic will melt. They can withstand quite a bit of heat, but they can't withstand a lot. The reason as well why these are difficult to get apart and why I really say not to bother doing it is the permaseal on it is a pain in the backside, and that comes from the factory. So it didn't at the time cost us that much to do. Roughly about £100 for the angel eyes and bi-xenon. I'm saying a bi-xenon, technically it's a projector. I got those two together. They don't make the angel eyes anymore, which is a bit of a shame, because they're really good quality. But I'm sure there's plenty out there now that you can get, because 3 years ago there was nothing. I might say 4 years ago before I get mixed up every so often. Anyway, the projector is screwed in from the back, and the angel eyes are literally held in with a little bit of silicone sealant. When they actually sat, you don't really notice them that much, but if you really get in there, it's noticeable. But people don't usually pay that much attention. When they're on, you can't see because of the light. They look amazing. I've had these for 3 years. The only thing I've had is problems with leaking. Basically because of the seals. You can see why they're like that. So what I'm going to take you through is actually on how to do the electrics. So I'm going to have to peel this one apart that's already open, and we'll go from there. Right, so now what we've got is a broken down light down to a bare shell. Well, pretty bare as can be. Once you've got your light off, and once you've got the lens taken off, you'll have to remove a metal part that sits in here. Basically it has the Volkswagen symbol on the halogens. It unscrews from the back. I haven't actually got it because I'm doing this one backwards in a way. I haven't got that part anymore, must have thrown it away years ago. Just unscrews from the back, it's a doddle, slides out, And what you would do is, next you would put your projector in through that part. So that's how the projectors look. Effectively, it is just this. It's just a little plastic shroud. I actually cut these off years ago, but that is wiring, so you, if you wanted to, could tap in to the wiring source for the main beams for the shutter that's inside here. You flick your main beams, shutter opens, you've got main beams on your projector, which is much better. Don't know why I didn't do it at the time, to be fair, probably just laziness. A long time ago now when I did these, as I say, 3 years ago. This unit takes an H1 stamped on the back, H1 HID. The bulb is literally put in on the back, but what you would do with this goes into the unit and it's screwed in at the back. After it's been screwed in, there's a plate that goes on the back. When these are in the unit, so you can actually do the alignment, you could leave them, it's screwed in but not too tight, so you've still got a little bit of play. You can go to the MOT station, put the light on, you can twist it so you get it into position. You can then screw the nut on the back as tight as you can go, and then later on you'll be able to do the screws on the back with a plate that will hold it in place. If you wanted to, you could put some Loctite on here, but it'd be quite fiddly doing it at the MOT station. You'll have to get it lined up. You could line it up and you could do some lines on the back of the unit, which I think I did back in the past. I did. I lined it up so there's some marks on here that lines up with the inside of the lens to line it up. That's the way I ended up doing it. It's been that long, I'm trying to remember how I ended up doing it. But what you would do anyway, I'm waffling a bit, sorry, you would take the projector, pop it into the unit, screw it in at the back. You can put your bulb into the back. As I said, this one is an H1. Simple, slide in and go, not too bad. You can do your alignment at the MOT station, slide that back out, screw the nut back on, and then put on the plate. That will be on the back of the unit. You would then have to tap into the wiring either with the HID kit. The new HID kit, which wasn't available at the time, you could get an actual, now you can get an adapter which goes onto here, which is much better, I think, because you can just screw into it. It's got 2 simple parts so you can tap into it, and that's done. At the time that wasn't available, so I had to use T-taps, which basically you plug your HID ballast into these, positive and negative, and you cook it on gas really. It comes straight through the back, puncture a little hole through, you can pass your wiring through, no problem. You can put a bit of sealant. I peeled the sealant off this because it was old, to try and stop water ingress. Obviously if your seals aren't very good, you're still going to get water inside, you're going to get misting. Sometimes you can just pop the back off and it's fine, but sometimes you actually get little puddles forming, but that is because of how much I'd misshapen the top. It doesn't look that bad from here, but when you're actually looking at it up close, it is horrific. In terms of the angel eyes, what I did with mine, you can actually, now thinking about it, you can get these projectors with angel eyes on the top of the shroud, and it's wired in already, so it saves you a bit of time. I ended up putting silicone on mine, put it into place. It's been totally fine for all those years, never budged. The other one, spin it round, has been mounted on the top of here, and it's actually mounted to an old angel eye, which wasn't good enough. Basically this was the biggest one I could get of this one, wasn't big enough, so I made a clear stand using an old angel eye, which was fine. But as I say, times have changed. You can probably get these in a bigger size. Don't know where you would get them now, because I don't think they're made anymore. Basically that's the company. If you can find them, by all means go for it. They're pretty difficult to get a hold of though. I've been trying to find a new set for me HIDs, for me by Xenons, but look like I'm going to have to go with the old ones. I might have to do a little bit of play with them, but most likely I'll be able to get these in, no problem. I've already done it before, so I'll be able to do it again. So with the Angel Eyes, I fed the wiring down through the back so you couldn't see it, tucked it away up the top, and then around here, once the rest of the unit's in, you can't see because of where the plastic is. And the wiring on these for the Angel Eyes are wired through the top, brought them down the back of the projector so you couldn't see them, tucked it away around here and through this little hole at the bottom. Once everything was together, it was hidden. The Angel Eye wiring obviously passed out the back with the from one of the bulb ports. I patched that onto a tiny bit of wiring and created a clip. Again, at the time I had used T-taps, which are brilliant, but because of the needs of getting the bumper off quite a few times and taking the lights out quite a few times before resealing, I needed a better system so I could take it apart quickly. So I've ended up with what I've got now. You can either use a T-tap in your standard wiring harness, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you want the luxury of having to take them in and out quite often, I prefer having this. Better seal, water seal on it, don't get any corrosion in them, really good to be fair, and it only costs us a couple of pound. As you'll probably know, if you have any aftermarket DRLs on your Scirocco, you'll have water ingress in the DRL, always gets them, doesn't matter which Scirocco it is. I've seen plenty where the water started forming inside the DRL, don't know why it happens, it does. The connectors always rot on them. On mine have been cut off and they're wired in. So actually wired in with these, much easier. So I can run the DRLs and run the Angels at the same time, no issues at all. I don't know what it's like on the newer Scirocco, I can't really say, but any questions, just ask.